Sai Ram. That is how we greet each other, right? With the word Sai Ram. Whether it is online, whether it is in chats, or whether it is in person, we always begin with this beautiful phrase that we have received from our Swami. And after this phrase, we follow it up with some general question. How are you? Hope you're all fine. How have the last few months or few years been for you? This is how we begin conversations. When I was a student, I came across a group of people who had a very odd, or shall I say unique question that would follow their greeting of Sai Ram. It would go like this. They would say, Sai Ram, how is your sadhana going? Sadhana? They would inquire about each other's sadhana, and I used to laugh at this. Not just me, many of my classmates and friends too, because this is a very odd question, as I say. But then it is also a very unique question, and today in retrospect I realize it is a very important question, because out of all the activities that we do in our life, it is possibly just the sadhana that we do which is the most important. That is all that matters in the final reckoning, what sadhana we have done. And therefore, it is wonderful to have this daily reminder from like-minded people. Sai Ram, how is your sadhana going? For those who are not acquainted with this term, sadhana is the summation or the superset of all the activities that we do to attain God, to reach our Swami, to realize our own selves, to get that final enlightenment or nirvana, whatever we may call. And the importance of this sadhana, I learnt from the experience, the amazing experience of a very elderly Swamiji who arrived in Prasanthi Nilayam in the early 1950s. This Swamiji was not an ordinary person. He had been for 17 years under the great sage Sri Ramana Maharshi. In fact, in the book titled Ramana Gita, Ramana Gita is a collection of all the teachings of Ramana Maharshi. In that book also, this Swamiji appears by the name Yathindra. Yathindra meaning the best among the monks. This Swamiji's name was Swami Amritananda, and his experience thumps into us the importance, the critical importance of sadhana. Sri Ramana Maharshi attained Mahasamadhi in 1950. And so in the early 1950s, Swami Amritananda arrived at Prasanthi Nilayam. He was received by none other than Professor Kasturi, Swami's biographer, and at that time he was donning multiple roles as the Postmaster General of Prasanthi Nilayam. He was Swami's translator, he was Swami's editor, multiple roles. In fact, this Swami Amritananda stayed with Professor Kasturi, who had been given a small room towards the east of Prasanthi Nilayam. There were a row of houses, small rooms. One of them belonged to Professor Kasturi. The first time that Swami saw Swami Amritananda, so our dear Swami was not even 30 years of age, he looked at him and called him very lovingly, Amritam. And when he called him that way, Swami Amritananda was just floored and bowled over because memories came gushing back into him. This was precisely the way, the tone, the voice, everything with which the great Ramana Maharshi used to call him with love. And so he felt an overwhelming sense of love and warmth towards Swami. And he followed Swami, and there Swami conversed with him. In fact, Swami reminded him of a Ganapati Homam, a fire sacrifice ritual that is done in honor of Lord Ganesha, that Swami Amritananda had done when he was a 7-year-old. So this was 78 years ago, dear brothers and sisters, because right now Swami Amritananda or Yathindra was 85 years of age. And here Swami is telling him, Do you remember that Ganapati Homam you did as a 7-year-old? Yes, Swami Amritananda indeed remembered. What he had done is phenomenal considering that it is just a 7-year-old. The Ganapati Homam was done for 41 days in a row, and each day this little 7-year-old boy would chant the Ganapati Bija Mantra 1,000 times, and with each chant he would offer one coconut into the sacrificial fire of the Homam. And what is this mantra? Om Shreem Hreem Kleem Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. This is this. In it are the Bij Aksharas Om Shreem Hreem Kleem Glaum. So with these Bij Aksharas, this mantra, when it is chanted and the Ganapati Homa is done, and this is done for 41 days, each day 1,000, so 41,000 times, 41,000 coconuts. Wow, for a 7-year-old that's a humongous, huge effort. He had done that. So he recollected that and he told it to Swami, and Swami said, what is the reward that is promised in the scriptures when you do this? And Swami Amritananda replied, Swami, when this is done sincerely and perfectly, on the final day, for the final offering, Lord Ganesha himself appears in a golden form and he receives the final offering. That is the fruit that is promised for this sadhana. Did you receive that? Swami asked. Folding his hands, Swami Amritananda said, I was just a 7-year-old boy. A 7-year-old boy just offering some coconuts and chanting mantras any number of times. I don't think that intensity is there. I don't think that deservedness is there to receive that blessing. No, Swami said. What you have done is so wonderful. That is the reason why you have come to me. None of that will go in vain, Amritam. Here, look. And as Swami Amritananda looked at Swami, his jaw dropped, tears came in his eyes, and his heart erupted in joy, because right before him was not that tiny figure in orange, but the grand form of Ganesha, resplendent and splendorous in a golden color, and that darshan filled him with bliss that he could just not contain. In fact, in the first part of the Satyam Shivam Sundaram, Professor Kasturi writes that for 4 days after this, 4 days, Swami Amritananda neither ate nor drank water nor slept. He was just lost in supreme bliss. He was in a consciousness beyond the body and the mind. And who better than Professor Kasturi to record this, because as I said, Swami Amritananda used to stay with him. That is the amazing reward that he achieved for his sadhana. No sadhana ever goes in vain, whatever we may be doing. Whether it is bhakti yoga, karma yoga, jnana yoga, whether it is devotional activities, service activities, or even scriptural and spiritual study, every bit of it will be accounted for. Nothing will go in vain. After this, Swami Amritananda continued to stay with Professor Kasturi for many days. And in Professor Kasturi's room, there was a window which opened out towards the mandir. And Swami Amritananda would enjoy Swami's darshans through that window. This beautiful episode is recorded in Professor Kasturi's book, Loving God. One day, Swami Amritananda, before he had to leave, he looks at Professor Kasturi, calls him and asks, what is the cost of this window? And Professor Kasturi says, nothing much, it's not teak wood, it's some cheap wood it is. It's possibly a few rupees, that's all. Then he says, no, this is invaluable. It is more valuable than a window made of diamonds and gold. This is the Kanakana Kindi because it gives us the opportunity to see God. Even if the Maharaja of Mysore comes and gives you his palace, don't exchange it for this window. Of course, the reference of Kanakana Kindi is to the story of Kanakadasa, for whom the Lord turned around and made a window so that he can have darshan. I won't go into those details now because it is recorded in detail at this link above or the link in the description. You can have a look at it. But that is the value Swami Amritananda gave for the darshan of Swami, and all of that happened because of that beautiful golden Ganapati darshan that he had. Dear brothers and sisters, all our life, as I said, the only thing that matters, the only activities that matter are those which are in pursuit of Swami, in pursuit of God, in pursuit of our highest goal, that is realization of ourself. All that is called sadhana. Let us spend more and more and more time in sadhana. Let us remember that every bit of sadhana is being recorded and it will be accounted for. It will bear fruit. 100%. None of the sadhana will ever go in vain. Everything else will be gone. Our wealth, our name, our health, our body, everything, our progeny, friends, all of that will dissipate over time. Some may last longer than the other, but none of them are permanent. Only our sadhana will stand by us as a genuine relative, as a genuine family member, as a genuine friend. May we spend increasing amounts of time in our sadhana. May we love Swami more and more every passing moment. With that, I am grateful to Swami for all these beautiful experiences that serve as reminders and inspiration for us to surge ahead in our sadhana. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.